Hello guys, before we get started with the episode, we've got some big news for you. We're doing live shows of the podcast, aren't we?
Big time. We are doing 2 dates at the Edinburgh Fringe on the 15th and the 21st? 23rd of August.
15th, the afternoon. I believe it's a Tuesday. It's afternoon. And then the 23rd is a late night spot.
Late night extravaganza.
11:30, you'll pass into...
Some laugh in the city.
Yes, pass over midnight with us.
It's like when Hollyoaks go after dark.
Exactly. It's
Yes,
going to be
some
horny as
laugh
hell.
after dark.
Yeah.
And we'll count down to the
A lot of
bells.
storylines about riding ass.
And speaking of which,
Guaranteed.
if you'd like more of that,
Or
you
your
can-
money back.
Yeah, you can sign up to the Patreon. We talk about that every single week. No, if
We
you
are
like-
also doing the London Podcast Festival, where we'll not be
Yes.
talking about riding ass at all.
No,
We're going to
no
class it up for London, aren't we?
London, they want a bit more artistic.
Yeah, it's going to be very arty. On the 9th of September,
yes.
if you are down that way.
Saturday it is as well. So
Big
And
away game.
We're actually selling really well, and I've been asked if we want to move up to a bigger room, so we'll
Really?
discuss that off
Okay.
stage.
How
Well,
big's
that
the-
means
how
you
big's the
need to
big
grab your tickets now because we might just not do a bigger room and then
Yeah.
you'll be fucked.
Snooze, you lose.
Yes, exactly. So
You can also join the Patreon, please, from as little as £3 a week.
A month.
A month? Fucking hell.
That'd be quite a lot, actually.
Yeah, that would be a
£12
rip. Sorry. Yeah. From us nailing this plug. From us, it's £3 a month. Nearly said it again. And you will get bonus content, a bonus episode once every 2 weeks. We've built up a bit of a backlog there.
Yeah.
And you'll also get the first 2 live shows that we did at the Glee and the Stand Comedy Clubs, which were very fun, weren't they, boys?
Yeah. Yeah.
so much fun.
And recordings from all the upcoming live shows, maybe some backstage footage as well.
And first dibs on future tickets.
First dibs and future tickets. But there's nothing quite like being there. So please do snap up the remainder of the live show tickets. We'll hopefully see you there. Hopefully see you at our stand-up shows at the Fringe as well.
Yep.
And apart from that, guys, enjoy today's
Enjoy
episode.
the
Enjoy.
Welcome to the Some Laugh Podcast.
It could be like, oh, that was some laugh, or there was just some laughs.
Well, no promising all laugh.
No,
It's
there's going to be some.
some laugh.
I've prepared a lot by unpreparing.
Yeah, because
I've sat for 3 days thinking, right, how do I empty my brain so I'm just as loose as I can. be.
it's improv. You
You
know,
want to be an empty vessel, be like water, as Bruce Lee says.
Yeah,
does he say that?
He said that. Well, he did.
but I don't
might
really
be-
know what that means.
Be like water.
It means
Well,
that
thanks for spelling. I understand the words.
it
You know
means
what water is?
so water. You know, you can be calm and still if you're in a mug like Steve has got his water there, and be calm and still. But then at certain times with the
You
right
can put it through a hose.
force, you can fucking smash through
Yeah.
somebody's fucking
House.
ceiling.
You can jet wash with it.
You can drip mildly.
You can drip into someone's arm.
Yeah.
Is that's not water?
I don't
in those
think you
bags?
put water into that would kill you. If you put you're mainly water, but if you put
More water in?
you have exactly enough water. I don't know what that is they put into you. Is it water?
No.
What the fuck are you talking about?
You know
You said
how
about on a drip.
and there's a clear bag.
What
Is that? It's not water.
Well,
is
it
it?
depends on what you're getting it
So is
for.
it medicine?
Aye.
Is it a bag of medicine?
There's no way that any of us know what we're talking about.
Someone gets like morphine, a morphine drip.
That's a bag of morphine.
It's not a bag.
That's not a full
What?
bag of morphine.
Well, it's not. Maybe they've probably dosed it down, but it depends
With
on
what? Water?
They've cut it
Well,
basically,
other people-
but maybe like teething powder, stuff like that.
With water? No.
UFC fighters used to they banned an IV drip after because the way that they would if they done a weight cut, the way that they would like get more.
They bleed themselves.
Well, they would get they'd rehydrate by putting a drip of water into them, and it'd be easier to do it with the IV. But because it was like kind of cheating, they banned it. But anyway,
Right.
your point being is be flexible. Is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
Right, yeah, I get you now.
Basically.
Yeah. Be yeah. There's lots of things you can do with water.
Yeah.
It's important. It's important.
Know all of the water uses is what we're saying, right?
Yeah. Because
Mainly in Steve's house, it's to put out the fires that he starts when he gets.
I've started one fire.
Real fire.
It's pretty real. The fire engines came round,
Yeah.
Okay, that's fairly serious. What happened?
but the fire was out by the time they got there.
Okay, fairly unserious.
I burnt bacon. The grill went on fire,
Okay.
and I put a wet towel over it.
Which is what you're meant to do, right?
Apparently not.
I've seen an advert.
I thought so.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because
I
they
think
say like
that's
chucking
maybe-
water on it. No,
Yeah.
wet towel.
Yeah. That's
Be
what
like
I
a wet
thought.
towel.
Be like a wet towel. That's what I thought.
That's what.
It's the stillness of a wet towel is what I was going for.
It'd be like a wet towel.
Yeah.
That's what Bruce Lee said as well.
I done that. Apparently that's bad because you could just fuck it up. What you should do is just wait for the fire department to come.
Depends how bad the fire is, surely.
Yeah, because they did say to me you stopped it from getting worse, but
It's a lot of mixed messages you're getting, mate.
they also said you could just close the oven door and it would have went out itself. Which is a fair point.
Yeah, that would have probably been the best thing to do, I suppose. But you weren't to know that was before you had the fire safety chat that they enforced you to get.
They
so.
came round for a wee fire safety chat.
Did they make you do that thing? You have to do that thing at school where they put up a tent and filled it full of smoke.
Yeah, it was
and
always
made
like
you
the
crawl
chip
through.
pan fire example they would give, wouldn't it? And it'd be like,
Yeah.
yeah, the van thing.
Yeah, we went to like a specific place that taught you about fire safety, and it was like they put the smoke into the room. The smoke was coming in through the.
It was like an
under the
army
door.
training.
Yeah,
thing,
yeah,
was,
wasn't it?
yeah.
It was a lot. I think they had us all in there. They had like 30 kids in one
Yeah.
tent. I'm like, what scenario is this?
But then there was like, so in the room there was a door leading outside, and then there was the door where there was a guy with a smoke canister
Yeah.
putting the smoke under it, and there was a wee girl who went through that door, and then he just went, I shouted at her, and she started crying.
Yeah.
Just fucking smoking her out. Get back in there.
Get back in, you
There was one I
stupid idiot.
remember, and it was something to do with like, you know, like it was outside of that bit, like just after you went through that one. The next bit was like, it was like 3 years, and there's a guy like telling you to get in a car or something, who's shouting you, and then you get in the car, and he's like, you failed in the test.
He's getting in the car.
Don't ever get in a car. It was
Never.
like something like that where they just had a guy shouting at you about something, but it was like a test.
He had like
to
a fire
see.
test and then a nonce test at the end of it.
Yeah, basically, it was stuff like that.
They'll
aye.
just put them two things together.
Yeah, man. It's a knockout for kids. It's just every hazard.
Yeah, it basically was that, I think.
That's
It was
fun.
a weird
I
thing.
didn't get the nonce one.
No. Something along those lines, you know. Sound off in the comments if you remember what the fuck I'm talking about.
When we were taught about pedos, but we never got a test.
I don't think the pedo lessons that I got were pretty light, which sounds like I'm talking about being paedophiles, but no. Like there was just like, I remember there was a sign in the school like, don't talk to strangers. That's pretty loose, isn't it?
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, you didn't know why.
But
you,
yeah.
you didn't really know their motivations when you were a kid.
Yeah,
did you?
yeah,
You just sort of
exactly.
said, you know, they'll kidnap you. That's what you knew.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they didn't go into the details,
You
the
didn't-
nitty gritty.
You just thought you
what
would
they
be taken
do.
away from your
Exactly.
parents.
I thought like, all right, well, a free day out. That doesn't sound the worst.
Sounds all right.
I didn't know what was going to happen. They were just like, you get sweets with a stranger.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to be getting in a van.
You're selling this to me.
Yeah,
Yeah, they
I
didn't go into the horrific specifics
No,
of it, did they?
which might have helped. They were sticking me in tents full of smog and getting you captured in vans, but never the details.
Yeah,
Is that?
because I guess they couldn't. I mean, they can do the smoke thing because it's a child can understand the smoke, but they can't understand the brutality of a paedophile.
In many ways, none of us can. Difficult to relate.
Yeah, there's the birds and the bees and the fucking bears.
Yeah, the bears. Yeah.
Yeah,
The beasts.
the beasts.
The birds. Yeah, they taught us about the birds and the bees, but not the beasts. Birds and the bees. Anyway, did you go to a Catholic school? Adam?
I didn't go to Catholic school. My dad is a Catholic.
He's Irish.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
So there's that level of
I thought he was from Liverpool.
yeah. Well, so he's full Irish, like his parents are Irish, but he's a Scouser.
So he did he get raised in Liverpool? But
Yeah.
his parents are Irish?
Yeah, that's right, man. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
I went to I don't know what school it was. Just a-
Non-dom.
non-dom, femdom. I don't know. It's some sort of dom. I was pegged. Yeah, it was called Excalibur. It had like a
Your school was called Excalibur?
yeah,
That's
man.
insane.
It had right,
Was
'cause-
it posh?
no. It had but it you know like you have a crest.
Uh-huh.
Like a,
Yeah,
our
like a
crest
badge.
was a hand coming out of a lake with a sword.
That's cool as
Oh,
fuck.
fuck yeah, man.
That's cool as fuck.
That's pretty cool. But
We'd
so-
go into school sports, you know, when you play like Highfields, they've got a little squirrel on theirs. We'd lose, but we had the best crest.
Yeah,
That's like a captain going down with his ship or something, and then he's just like,
Yeah, yeah.
I'll fucking not let go of this thing.
Excalibur, that's an insane name.
I know.
A primary school or a high school?
Primary.
That's like a sort of Asterix thing or something in it.
What were your primary schools called?
Gavin Byrne.
That's just a bloke, innit?
Yeah.
Just Gavin Byrne.
It was Gavin Byrne's school. Just a guy.
There's a safari park in Glasgow called, well, it's actually in Stirling, isn't it? It's called
Blair
Drummond.
Blair Drummond. So.
And it just sounds like a guy's name.
Yeah.
Like, Blair Drummond is a place, I think.
Just turn up, it's Blair in a cage.
Yeah,
You're
just
looking at
sounds
Blair.
like a guy he's our Tiger King. Blair Drummond. No, I was just went to St Mary's. It was called.
St Mary's. So you went to a good Catholic school.
I don't know.
I don't know if that's a bigger
It's
deal
not
in
a thing
England, is it?
Really, no.
I mean,
Catholic
yeah,
schools and stuff.
There is a little bit. So I went to one secondary school and then I went to another. So I got kicked out of it
What for?
for selling drugs.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
So you were a dealer in school.
I was, yeah.
What
And
sort of
Do you
shit?
think if you pronounce it that way, you're not going to get caught by the
Yeah, yeah.
police?
I'm like, I didn't say a word. So try and catch me. Yeah. So I almost went to a Catholic school, but they wouldn't really take me, I think.
They did
Yeah.
like
Because of the
sin. Yeah, that's a bit of a sin. Isn't
Well, they
it?
have to take you is the thing, but they also come up with reasons that they
I
don't.
feel like in the Old Testament, they wouldn't. Back in those days, they wouldn't have had drugs, would they have?
Right?
So they wouldn't. That wouldn't have been specifically.
So talk me through your thinking right now. Because the logic being what? They're going back to the Old Testament and thinking, well, if it's not in the scripture,
Yeah, so they
can't
can't.
come
It's
in.
not really a sin, is it? Because they didn't have drugs back then. They didn't have ecstasy
That's
back
how
then
they
for
wrote
sure.
the books. They were all off their fucking faces,
Yeah, yeah.
man. They must have had something.
they just hadn't classified it. I
Yeah,
think.
but I don't
Yeah.
think it would have been illegal. It was back in the days where you'd go to a tavern and drink a drink a warm ale.
Yeah.
A tavern.
Yeah, can
In
remember
Bethlehem.
Noah, he was in a tavern, wasn't he? And he was like, I'm going to fucking build an ark. I've had one too many and I'm getting home and making this bloody ark.
Do you think it was like a ferry where you get a wee bar on the ark as well?
It's sort
It's built a wee
yeah,
bar.
Building an ark and putting two of every animal is the sort of thing you would sort of decide to do when you're on coke.
When you're
innit?
fucked
Yeah.
up.
Aye.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
mushrooms for sure. It's like, I need to get these animals on a boat.
Well, yeah. So they would have been able to do the natural ones, your mushrooms, your marijuana,
Yeah.
perhaps making
Heroin?
moonshine. Poppies, yeah.
Poppies,
sure.
yeah.
Moonshine from rotten veg and fruit.
Yeah.
You could get
Moonshine
fucked
isn't made from rotten veg, is it? Or is it potatoes?
I have no idea. Well, you would be the
It's-
expert.
Well, I don't
given
know.
that-
I was looking to. I feel like
Fermented.
between us, you would know. Were you on about rotten veg in the booze?
We fermented, like that's how they make it, innit?
I
Moonshine.
have no idea.
I'm sure it's rotten veg.
I'll pass. Actually, I'll have a water.
What you know is what kind of drugs were you selling, Adam?
So I was selling.
And how old were you when you started doing this?
So I was 11,
Wow, that's young.
but I got kicked out at 13.
How
So
did you
you've had
manage
2
to end
years.
up? That's very young to be.
Yeah, well, I'm a hard bastard. I think you'll find, Mark.
Oh,
I know I might not look it, but
no.
I am massive.
do go on.
No, so basically, there was like at school. There was lots of weed. I basically got into it because I was hanging out with people who were older than me. So we started smoking weed. Well, I wanted to start smoking weed because I watched Meet the Parents.
Oh yeah,
And there's a scene in that where I was like,
and it chucks out the window.
yeah, like the pipe and that. I was like, hell yeah.
Really? That's
that-
a mad origin story.
So it's,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
a mad influence
That is.
like that.
It wasn't like Harold and Kumar or anything. It was Meet the
You
Parents.
wanted
It's
to
Meet
be
the
a
Parents.
fucker.
Yeah. Well, there's the cousin in it. I can't remember what he's called.
Right.
And he's got that little pipe.
Uh-huh.
I was like,
That
I
looks
like
cool.
the accoutrements, the little paraphernalia bit.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
but not necessarily the.
I didn't know that I would like the drugs part so much. I like the pipe, but it turns out it's the drugs bit I liked.
Interesting.
you've got-
So yeah, I just started buying it for me and a load of mates, and then the older lad, he was
Is this head dealer?
head dealer, yeah.
Okay.
So I think it was county line stuff really that I was adjacent to, and I
does
was
that
getting.
mean?
So there's a thing in England. I don't know if it reaches all over. It just is like in regional shitholes.
Uh-huh.
They have kids sell drugs because it's a bit like.
Because they're not going to get stopped by the police.
Right, yeah. It's like, when you get a delivery driver turning up and they're selling you smack. It's like that kind of thing.
Right.
A drug dealer turns up in a smart car, It's like it's the equivalent of that of a human, like a little prepubescent boy with
On a
long
wee
hair.
bike,
With a, yeah,
dropping it off.
yeah.
So it's
But I
like The
wasn't-
Wire.
It was like
Yeah.
The Wire, yeah. But I was
similar.
definitely one of those characters that was sort of killed early.
But so how did you say you bought it for the older guys? First of all, how did you have the money, and why were you the one doing it? Because you were so they gave you money and they sent you off to do it.
Well, so I was, yeah, exactly. So I knew the guy
Uh-huh.
and I was buying it, and he basically said to me one day, look, you're buying quite a lot of weed throughout a week,
Uh-huh.
so I'll give it you for free at the start of the week.
Mm.
Then you'll have 20, I'll give you an ounce. Like, so I'm helping anyone who wants to start out here.
Right. Okay.
So this is economics of it. I give you an ounce, and that is 8/8. And so you need to give me 50 quid, so you'll have 30 quid left over to smoke or sell. But I decided to smoke it. And so then it just kept getting more and more. And it allowed me to, build the life that I've built.
Your empire.
Yeah.
Built the empire.
We saw the Lamborghini I pulled up in. So.
Where did you get the money when you were that age? So you're 11 years old.
Yeah, so I had a paper round, and I started.
Some
Grind
paper.
set.
Yeah. I was like, I'm fucking hustling. I know how to do this. And pocket money, so you get like
Yeah.
and that's why I started doing it, because I thought it's going to be sus that I'm spending all my money on weed. So I need to supplement it
Yeah.
with selling it.
Right.
But when you're a kid, you don't really understand. Like, it sounds worse than it is.
Uh-huh.
And it's too...
Yeah.
And it's to my mates at first. And then it's sort of,
Then you became a bad influence in the entire
Yeah.
community.
And I started selling it to my parents, and they go, and they're on it, and they turn up, and they're like, "Just give us a hit."
Well, that's
And so what happened how did you get caught?
So there was like this big purge going on.
What?
So there was a girl who, I think that she was getting like bullied by someone
Uh-huh.
and ratted him out because she just wanted to get to him, and so he got found with a load of weed on him. And so I was in year 9.
Which is, we've got different things in Scotland. What
Okay.
age is that?
So that's 13.
Uh-huh.
So it's like before GCSE kind of.
Yeah.
So is this high school?
Yeah.
Just first year of high school.
No, so it's
Second.
3rd year of high school.
Third year high school.
Yeah.
So
So
high school when you're 10.
well, I'm born in August, so like late in
Right.
the
Okay.
whole thing.
Sure.
But so this girl had got this guy caught, and so for about 2 weeks there was this big purge going on.
Yeah.
And I think at the time I'd only skived like once or twice, and my mum found this note in my pocket that was like, "Adam's not coming to school today because he's hurt his back," and she was like, "What's this?"
So you'd
I was
forged the note.
I got a mate to forge it, Sarah Roberts.
Forgery, drugs.
It's
This is
it's
A web
fucking
of lies.
Scarface. And she was like, "Right, I'm gonna call the school and tell them,"
Aye.
which I love is like the opposite of what you usually get your parents getting called by the school.
Yeah.
My parents are like, "Wait until your teachers hear about this."
Yeah, it's like a reverse. grass.
Yeah. I'm grounded by my head a year. So I was like doing all this. So I was doing 10 weeks of detention
Wow.
for getting caught, but I also said that I was with someone else.
You done a 10 stretch?
And then I wasn't. Yeah, but because I wouldn't hand them over, I was doing a 20 stretch.
Oh, fuck.
Did you didn't grass anyone in?
Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
So I was stuck, and basically everyone kept getting pulled out over the course of a few weeks, and I was like, I'm getting off scot-free here. Everyone's getting pulled out, and like a couple of lads got expelled. These other guys selling, but
So they were getting suspended or expelled, do you mean, by pulled out? And you
yeah.
were just-
Well, so
you
they're
just-
getting pulled out to get asked about.
Oh, right. Uh-huh.
And a lot of people, they weren't getting expelled, but it was just there was a purge going on, so that that they knew everyone was getting questioned, people
Yeah.
were getting searched, and so then, I only got done right at the end because my name kept coming up.
From
So-
other people grassing?
Yeah. So eventually, I got this like list of like pupil L said this, pupil J.
Yeah.
Right.
Everyone had like code names.
Did you figure out who these rats
There
were?
was one person I'd figured out. I was like, I think they said that I might have dealt. But it all got to this point, and so it was in May, and I was I was supposed to be going to see Less Than Jake that day. You know, the ska band, Less Than Jake.
No.
Can't say it.
Well, it's sort of the sort of worst kind of music.
Skies, that's not madness, is it?
It is, but it's like
Worse
down.
than madness.
So it's like ska punk. So like, you know, like on Tony Hawk's.
Mm.
It's like that. Anyway, they were on that day and I had got caught. And so I'd been pulled out of school, been pulled into the head teacher's office, and they grilled me for hours. Have you done it? Have you done it? And I was like, no. No, I've not.
But your mum had already grassed you in
No, this
that
is for
was
skiving.
for the sky.
Yeah.
Right, okay.
Truanting.
Ah.
So I was just in the head teacher's office.
So you were doing the 10 stretch for
Just for
skiving.
that, that's
For skiving.
harsh. Wow.
Yeah. Which I don't even understand how there's that much
Yeah.
school. Like that's a year.
Yeah, that's
What, 10
A
weeks?
full
Ten.
It's a
What, plus
term
another
at
10.
least.
Plus
Yeah.
another 10.
Wow.
Yeah.
it's no-
so. And was this like lunch times or like after
Lunch.
school? Right. Okay.
Yeah. Which is where it hurt most, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lunch, you want to be out
I
doing
mean,
bongs.
You were allowed. Of course. Yeah.
I was smoking so much weed at school at that point.
And you're this young because I didn't even know what weed was at that age. I don't think.
I mean, it was just like that in my town. It was like, I don't know, you get these places where that
I think
just
13
happens.
people are smoking weed.
Yeah.
11 though.
Yeah.
11 when it started.
Younger, yeah, but
It's younger
It's
than
younger.
13. That is younger.
It's
than
younger.
13.
but yeah, but I remember when I was probably
It's
about that
younger, yeah.
age, when I was about 13, and you know, like I hung about with maybe guys maybe a year older than me, but it was definitely like wee brothers and stuff would do it.
Right.
hung
And
about-
I was like I was sort of hanging out with the older people.
Yeah,
I hung about with dweebs.
yeah.
I was the older guy hanging about with young people.
You're pulling up in your Corsa after school.
All right, lads.
So, so then what happened?
So so basically they just kept pushing me and I was like, fine, I've done it. They said
Right,
we
you
won't. They said that
broke.
we won't expel you if you tell us.
So you got a deal out of it. You made sure.
I've learned to get deals out of things because I said I've done it, and they said, "All right, you've gone."
So they did expel you.
They expelled
soon?
me. They were instantly like, "Okay, you're going to get expelled."
Wow.
So
I
they
was like-
lied.
They lied, but they lied loads.
Arguably,
and-
that's worse than the crime.
that's what I said,
Yeah.
but didn't fly.
No. I would be
They lied
pissed
in
off.
the whole thing, right? They said that my parents grassed in some other lad.
Uh-huh.
So we had this like, so then it was like a set of appeals. So it was me and my parents versus the school, and so that it was like the head
Talking
of
about meet
year.
the family, fuck's sake.
yeah.
Meet the parents.
The parents, right.
It's my mum, and yeah. So it was like the head of year, the head of school, and then someone else versus the council. You know, that the school like PTA kind of thing.
Sure.
And so they overturned it. And there was this other lad who got
Excalibur Council. It's such a dramatic name.
so and basically they there was this other lad who got away with it because his dad played golf with the head.
Corruption.
It was like a really shit wire, innit? Yeah.
Yeah.
This has it all.
Right to this goes right
Yeah,
to
yeah.
the top. That's amazing. So then what? So then you get expelled, and then you had to go to a different school.
Yeah,
Do you think that changed the trajectory of your life?
definitely.
Really?
Yeah.
Was it a better school or was it like?
I got into dealing cocaine there.
No.
No, well, I felt really bad,
Yeah.
because you're doing all that as a kid and you don't understand the magnitude of. It's just your little world. Is this? Well,
Yeah.
How did your parents react when they found out you were selling drugs?
very disappointed, but they were really nice about it, and that's the worst thing of it. You know, they're very sound, my parents,
Aye.
and Martin and Yvonne, and they
Shout out.
shout out, big up. Yeah, and like it was just that whole like disappointment thing. It's real. I mean, I remember my dad being like, "Look, weed wasn't about when I was like a lad, and don't get me wrong, I'd be smoking it for sure,
Wow.
but selling it, you're
That's
an
where I
idiot."
draw the line.
Yeah.
God.
Wow.
So I think that when I went to a new school, I was like, I need to not do that.
Clean up your
Back
act.
up your
Yeah.
ideas.
And it's fucking scary going to a new school because you're just like, who you are is so much, especially when you're a teenager, you're self-conscious, you don't really know. And it's this byproduct of all these things you've become.
Aye.
All these behaviors that you've done and you bring them. And I was like, and I looked like shit. I was like fat, hadn't hit puberty, had long hair. But in the school I was in, because I was a cheeky fucker and I was selling weed and that, I had a rep.
Yeah.
I was
Right.
nothing. I was just...
So did you tell people, or did they find
No.
out about the past?
They never told anyone for a while, because I had this moment where I can't remember what I was doing. I think I was going on holiday to Ireland, and we were on a ferry with my parents, and there were these other kids, and I was like boasting to them. Like
Right.
it was like we were in some sort of little area, and I was boasting to them on this ferry.
So I get busted for selling weed.
Exactly. Like, yeah, I'm out of the game now. Yeah, it was intense, man. And so I was saying all that to them, and then my parents came in to get me from Summit, and then one of them was like, "I'll see you, dealer," or something like that. Like, and I felt like such a fucking loser.
Oh man.
So I was like, right, I'm not trading on that again until I've got an Edinburgh show to promote. But yeah, so yeah, the school I was like head down and stuff. I mean, it was. I remember going and like the first day, like did you go to the same school all throughout?
Yeah, we went to different schools.
I didn't change school at any point.
didn't change.
But I did always think it must be difficult. But then there is some people though that came in and just seemed cool straight away.
Yeah.
And then
Well,
they're straight away just got this.
I don't know if you had the same thing, but we had two schools merge. My school and a rival school merged around 4th or 5th year.
Happened a wee bit late. I was going by the time.
Wow,
it was
they
happened,
merged with the rival school.
Yeah, it's like
Why?
the school we used to always fight with at the top of the hill outside of the school, Braidfield, merged with Clydebank High and just became Clydebank High. We didn't take any of their name or anything. Fuck them. And then, but it was like really intense for like the first couple of weeks, because people were
Yeah.
like, "Oh, this is just going to be fights all the time." And then it was like, "No, they're all nice.
Yeah.
Actually, we're not so different, you and I."
Yeah. What a
Yeah, but
beautiful
that's like a whole different school joining, but just when you're the only one, it must be
Yeah.
harder.
I remember the second day I took drama, because I'd had like quite a bit of time out, like from May until September.
Aye.
And so it was like GCSEs, and I was taking drama. Lesson 1, they were like, right, so to limber up, what we're going to do is we're going to go around the room and just pretend you're a chicken, just to get into it.
Fuck's sake.
And I don't know anyone, and I'm fat, and I've got long hair.
That's
And
tough.
you're-
Huh?
And I went straight to the head of year after, and I was like, I've got to change that and my hair. But I've got to change this. And I did music instead, but it's, it's like,
Yeah, so you didn't want to do the chicken stuff.
oh God, nah.
You can't do a good chicken.
I mean, yeah, don't get me wrong. Now I've worked on it. Yeah,
Come on.
I've gone through my, I've gone through my.
That's pretty good.
It's not great.
You should have
If
stuck
I'd
to
only have
drama.
stuck with it.
You mentioned your hair, Adam.
Yeah.
Now, you have a particular hairstyle these days.
Yeah.
And I mean,
You've got a joke about
you
it.
do have a joke about your hair.
Yeah.
Do you still just have the hairstyle for that joke?
It's difficult to tell now. I think, well, there's a couple of things. So I got the haircut. I had it cut originally just as. And then one day he did it too severe. And I was running a gig at the barber's where I get my hair cut.
Right, I do know about this. So was this during COVID?
It's during lockdown, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Right, so do you want to explain?
Yeah,
'Cause-
so in London, there's the barbershop I go to called Barber Streisand.
That's
Great name.
Great.
I saw it when I'd moved there, and I was like, well,
Great
I'll be
stuff.
going here.
Yep.
And I've had my hair cut
That's
by
up there
this.
with Melton John's, isn't it?
Yeah. What do they do? It's like a sandwich.
It's like a takeaway place in
Melton John's.
Aye.
There's a place in Bristol called Jason Donovan's. It's just a Donovan.
That's good.
Fuck yeah.
We also did we not have Ali Barbers? Like Alibaba from Aladdin.
What are they?
Aye, Barbers.
Ali Barbers.
But yeah, Barber Streisand.
Yeah, Barber Streisand. And basically, they'd once done a burlesque show.
Right.
Because the way that the barbershop is, it's like on a semi-pedestrianised road. And the window opens up like one
What
of
is
those.
a semi-pedestrianised road? Because that to me, is that not every road? Is semi-pedestrianised?
Yeah.
If you've got a
He's a
pavement.
dreamer. Don't fucking stop me. No, but it's like, just
Half
like
of it's like pedestrianised, half it isn't, or
like a
something?
taxi can go down there.
Right,
like
aye,
most
okay.
normal cars can't.
Sure.
Right. Okay.
So it's sort of, there's a road, but it's like, it feels European.
Okay.
It's
Cobbled. No?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not cobbled properly, but it's
got the
thick,
feeling of it.
cobbly road.
Yeah.
Sure.
Do you know what I mean?
I get it, yeah.
And so it's all popping off down there. There's like bars all like in the front. Anyway, they've got a glass window that opens out, and they did a burlesque show there once. And the council didn't let them do it again because the guy got his todger out in the burlesque.
The burlesque performer?
Yeah, somebody, yeah. Which I didn't. I didn't know that was.
The burlesque performer was a man and he got his dick out?
Yeah,
I thought burlesque was
that's what I thought.
a female-led industry.
Well, gender's a construct. Stephen,
Exactly.
So
Yeah,
Come on, get with it, man.
Not denying that. I've just never seen a burlesque man.
I haven't, and maybe that's why, because they keep getting their
It's
todgers
usually
out.
they'd
Well,
be called
but-
like Butler in the Buff or whatever.
well,
you know.
it's certainly drag adjacent burlesque, isn't it? And I could imagine some sort of maybe
No,
somebody's
it's not
drag
drag
acting and they
adjacent.
take off.
I
Their
think it was
clothes.
exactly. I think that there was probably burlesque within
Aye.
some other things going on.
Yeah.
Guy got his dick out, and the council went, "There's people about.
Yeah.
We got to be not having the dick out." And the semi-pedestrianised.
In the
And
street.
he's got his semi. There's too many semis going on.
Is this during the day?
Yeah, I think so. Well, it would. I think it would have been dusk.
Was this
it's
during
a good
lockdown
word.
that they done
No,
this
so this is
performance?
before.
Right.
Right.
So I'd done one of these shows before lockdown.
Uh-huh.
Not the burlesque show. Like the, you haven't seen my other act, have you? So I get my haircut done, but I also get my dick out for the. I've got a lot of things going on.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I did one show and it was great, and then the lockdowns happened and there were no shows going on.
Right.
So I just carried it on. So a window opened out. You could reserve like 20 seats outside the front of it, but then you just get big crowds. We get like 100 odd people all watching.
Nice.
And we had great acts playing because there was no gigs.
Yeah.
So we had like people asking to play, and I like just started. I learned to MC like out in the street. So
Wow.
it was fucking intense, man. Because you'd have things where you'd have homeless people coming up and being like, "Yeah!" Like there's this guy who used to come and he'd be like, "Bon Jovi, Bon Jovi," and it's really mad because
No, it's Barbara Streisand.
next time we got Alfie Brown, my hands are tied. I haven't got anyone else for you other than these people. No Bon Jovi.
Bon Jovi isn't here, man.
But we'd have so I'd have to learn how to MC because like in a gig, you've got the permission to like.
Yeah. A
Do
lot of
what
stuff
you
set
want.
up, the stage, the lighting, the mic on. It's like guerrilla comedy.
Yeah, so there was
Like
bits of that. So that it's raised. There's and it had like a nice backdrop,
Uh-huh.
and so it looked like a gig. It looked cool, but the audience was just anybody.
Yeah.
So you couldn't, and also the audience would get uncomfortable if you're shouting at her. Like, I'm where he is. I'm where the homeless guy, I'm where he lives.
Yeah.
Effectively. So for me to be like, don't, that's out of order.
Yeah. That's true.
So it was very intense.
So that would he show up every time, or is it like
A little, yeah.
yeah? Well,
Yeah.
he's a
We do
regular.
it weekly. And he was our main regular, to be fair. Hated it. But he was always there.
And did you not get any trouble with the restrictions and
We
stuff
did.
like that?
Not with, so we did like we did like a health and safety thing.
Yeah.
So it was all outside. We would like put out tape on the ground
Yeah.
just so that it was there.
Social distance and
And it
all
was,
that stuff.
and it very quickly, like everyone stopped giving a fuck very quickly
Aye.
about, like maybe the first couple of weeks, everyone is like very tense, but then everyone's like, it's fine.
Yeah.
The only thing, we got shut down by the council because of noise.
Right.
And so we kept trying
That
to
guy
fight
shouting Bon Jovi.
Yeah. They're like, we just need the noise being there's no Bon Jovi. Like you're gonna do this, you give the people what they want. But one time they came and switched it off, and Ishan Akbar was headlining, and he just did it acoustic, just like out into the crowd. They were so good. I loved them.
That sounds cool.
Yeah, man.
And that's so that's how you got into comedy. That's your
Well, that's how
first...
it wasn't how I got into it.
I was still asking you about your haircut here.
Oh yeah. I was thinking, I was like, I'm chatting shit here away from stomach. But yeah, I was doing that gig once, and he did it really severe, and I made the joke, and which is looking like a monk,
Aye.
and I just keep doing it. And so the
So
thing
you
is,
gone in specifically asking, can you do that?
Severe.
The fucked up
yeah. So that mistake. But this actually, lads, is a cool haircut in some places.
Yeah.
It's a
Yeah.
very trendy modern haircut.
Yeah, exactly. So it is, and also like it's thinning out. I'm like, I've got to have fun with it while it lasts.
Yeah,
You know.
definitely.
So that's my take.
So you said you used to have long hair and you were a wee guy and stuff. I'm sorry to bring us back to the drug stuff, but I feel like you'd have to be a good fighter if you were a drug dealer. Were you a good fighter?
Abysmal.
Did you get any fights? Did
Not-
people try and steal?
No, because I was so like unfightable. It would just be taken from me if that
Right.
had happened.
So it was just like here.
There's this one lad I remember 24/7 was his name, Chris.
Why was it called that?
Because I think one time he said 24/7 like as about like he's always fucked up 24/7, and I think
Just
people are just
stuck.
like.
Just stuck.
That's yours.
There's like a lad that I knew called Fishhead. He's called that because he put a pillow on his head once in a sleepover when he was 10. He works
He was
it.
called Fishhead.
He's still called Fishhead. He works at CERN. He's a doctor who does
Yeah, the
particle fusion.
He's
He's called Fishhead.
Large Hadron Collider.
Yeah, he works there, but he's still called Fishhead because he put a pillow on his head when he's 10. That's how it works, man.
Yeah,
You get given it. You get given it.
you do. I tried to make up my own nicknames.
Yeah, you did. What?
You get a long list, I think.
Go on.
Well, so I was DJ Cash.
DJ Cash. Yeah.
Did you DJ?
No,
Did you have any cash?
no. The etymology of that was Buchanan, Buck, Cash.
Oh, for God's sake.
What do you mean? Did you have like a little chart how you figured it?
Yeah, that's in my head. It was
Wait, what?
Buchanan. It kind of sounds like Buck at the start, and then Cash is a kind of Buck. That was the etymology.
what was
the
your other
DJ
ones?
part was because I made a little virtual DJ thing. Did you ever have virtual? I think it was called virtual DJ.
People would do like on the PC, they would make songs and put wee acapella
Oh, like Fruity
tracks
Loops
on
or
it.
something like
Yeah,
that.
Fruit
yeah,
Loops,
yeah.
stuff like that. Audacity.
Yeah,
was
yeah.
that one of those?
Yeah.
I used that and made some
What were your other nicknames? I'm curious.
other nicknames. Someone tried to call me Fry for a while, as in small fry.
Yes.
But I could argue it was like Stephen Fry.
Could do.
Wasn't that?
Yeah, I've just told us it wasn't, but the argument wouldn't stand
I'm
up.
pretty sure my mum thought it was Stephen Fry, and she's like, oh, he's a
Stephen
smart
Fry?
guy.
Oh yeah, he's good.
Yeah, he's I like him
Yeah.
on the telly. That Balanin.
What?
Balanin
What's that?
What's that about?
just kind of sounds like Buchanan.
Who called
But
you
what does
that?
it? What's it trying to sound like as well?
I don't know.
Balanin?
Is Balanin? It's just some people are like,
Yeah.
all right, Balanin.
Just a bit of fun.
Bit of fun. No reason. You don't need a reason.
Yeah.
What else? Stuff like that. Stevie B, Steve B, B.
It's just
It's
like-
shorter.
So yeah, stuff.
Do you
like
not have any nicknames?
Jenko?
Yeah, Jenko's the only thing. Or Jennings.
Did you make that up yourself?
Nah, people would just. Some people call me that. Like it was more like the young team lads, the smoking weed crew that would call me Jenko. Because sometimes I still bump into somebody for school and they're like, all right, Jenko, like the odd time. But yeah,
It's a good one, Jenko.
Jennings.
Jenko sounds like it could be like a brand, you know?
Yeah, I guess so.
Like a
Like Kenzo.
Costco. I'm like nipping down Jenko. Get a couple of bits and bobs.
But
It
it was
sounds like
almost
Kenko,
it
I
was more
suppose.
like
It's like
just
it
a
could be a
shortened
coffee.
thing because it's Jennings or Jenko. That would just kind be interchangeable, really.
Because Mark's too short.
Mark,
to-
nobody. I never really get called Mark when I became a teenager. It was always Jennings. Even my cousin, whose surname is Jennings, calls me
Calls you
Jennings.
Is he not Jennings?
No, he's Mick J.
Fair enough. Would you be called Addy?
I was called Floody. Well, actually, I was called Fat Man for a long
What?
time.
That's
Fat man,
harsh.
yeah.
Really?
Yeah,
That's a
but and then
shame.
I hit puberty and I lost all my weight, and then I was called Rat Man.
Rat Man.
Yeah,
Who thought, oh, he's not fat anymore?
It
Let's just
rhymes
change
with
that
the
to
rat.
an R.
I can't really remember who it was.
These people are so inventive, aren't they?
I know.
These
Yeah.
wankers.
Is there not a band or a guy called Rat Boy?
I don't know that.
No, I'm not sure.
Could have been.
Could have been me.
Could have
Sounds
been.
like that Lemmy sketch.
But
Banter rat. or whatever.
that's right. Yeah.
Let's not get to that. So that's a fat man.
Fat Man, yeah.
Bloody
That's a
hell.
shame.
Not
Yeah.
very inventive, to be fair.
Yeah, but I was fat. And I wasn't even a man, so
Should have
You're
been
right.
Fat Boy.
Fat Boy.
And
Yeah.
then Rat Boy.
Why did it change to Rat Boy?
Just because I hit puberty and
Would you have a rat's tail?
I think
haircut?
because I don't know, like have you heard of that game like Frog or Rat?
Yeah.
Or there's like similar
Everybody
versions
looks
like
like a
Potato.
frog or a rat.
Yeah.
I'm
What do you
Rat.
think?
Frog.
Me?
Yeah,
Is that good?
I don't know.
What do you think I am?
Rat.
I'm a rat. Eh?
You look like a
I
rat.
don't know if you're a rat.
Yeah, I'd say rat.
You know what? I think now I'm a bit of a blend.
You're evolving into a
Whenever
frog.
I've played that game with people, they're like,
Yeah, you're
You're
one
the
of those
exception.
riddles.
Yeah, you're like
Was Steve a frog?
yeah, kind of
I don't know.
froggy
Mm.
face.
Because is it there's
Yeah,
one that's
right, right.
Potato or Rat?
I think well, that's not say that.
It's basically a round thing or a more.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Pointy.
Are you pointy or you round? And
Aye, that is it.
I'd say you guys are quite pointy and I'm quite round.
I think it's things like the nose and that.
Yeah, so is the nose. The nose and the chin.
We could come up with nicer things than rat or frog though. Triangle or circle.
Yeah. It's just beautiful.
Where's the
Makes
fun
me
in
tear up, actually. That's nice.
So you're a rat. You're more of a rat boy.
Rat Boy. Speaking of which, because there is an artist called Rat Boy, and this is my segue into you were in a band.
Yeah. Yeah. That was nice.
Seamless. Yeah, absolutely seamless.
There we go. You were in a band, or I mean,
It's called Bleached Whale.
Bleached Whale, yeah.
that's cool.
Yeah.
That's
But
a
they
cool
spelled whale as in like a whale, W-A-I-L. is that right?
W-A-I-L.
Mhm.
It was,
name. Oh, like a cry.
yeah, and for help, the band was, yeah.
And beach is spelt
Bleached.
bleached. Sorry.
I mean, it is an impossibly convoluted name.
And tell us the etymology of this name.
I remember coming up with the name on, like...
You just learned the word etymology.
Yeah,
today.
yeah.
Read it. It's one of my. I've got a calendar.
I wonder why you were flicking through that thesaurus before we came in.
Oh, what's that mean? So the etymology. tell
Yeah,
us
I
about
just
it.
remember like us chatting about band names and like someone saying Beached Whale and then somebody saying, what about Bleached Whale as in the animal and then Bleached Whale. Like, it's nothing. I think most band names are kind of nothing. They just become, like, I don't know, Coldplay.
Yeah.
What is that?
Yeah, that's.
Yeah, but you just forget. It just becomes like Orange or Chair. You're just like, yeah, it's
Well,
the thing.
names
That's
are arbitrary,
Coldplay.
aren't they?
Yeah, that's true.
What kind of music do you play?
Indie.
Oh, aye.
Indie, like indie pop, rocky. It was like, indie landfill,
Yes.
like that era. We were at the end.
Right.
We were the end.
Just as it was, yeah, he's where the end.
Yeah.
Just as it was
I've been
fading.
saying recently, like, it's like, like at an afters and you're like, it's like you've been at the club
Yeah.
and everyone's drinking Red Stripe or it's like turning up to with a big bowl of punch to that. It's like, it's the wrong vibe.
The party's over.
The party's done.
But you just had a bit of success, didn't you?
We did all right, yeah. We got signed by management. We were on Radio 1 a bit. We toured with some cool bands like Cage the Elephant.
Yes, I've heard of those guys.
Yeah.
I have a couple of
Pete Doherty.
songs of those on my iPod.
You done Pete Doherty?
Yeah.
You're the second guest
support
who
act
has
of
supported
Pete
Pete
Oh,
Doherty.
who is the other?
Raymond Merrins.
Oh, okay,
He was
yeah.
doing stand up before him.
Jesus Christ.
It's the worst gigs of his life.
I mean, what is he? What? And then Pete Doherty booked that?
Aye?
Yeah, I think they
Because was he maybe doing poems and stuff then?
No, I think
not
you-
at all.
No, it was like
nothing
I
like
think it
that.
was
Compare in the room.
Yeah, yeah.
He was doing
So he's been
crowd
drinking. Everyone's like, no.
work. He did say that he had quite the medicine cabinet.
Yeah.
And,
Pete Doherty.
tour
Yeah,
band,
when we gigged with him in Stoke, he was his hands were big and as was his heart. you know when you do heroin, your hands go quite big.
I did not know that.
I did. Is that a thing?
It's like novelty hands.
Huge
Yeah,
hands.
yeah.
I went to see Libertines a few years ago, and he was off his tits. He just kept chucking his guitar, and he had a guy who would have to catch the guitar, and then he threw the mic stand out into the crowd and smacked the guy in the face, and he had up your bloody nose.
You know.
And he just kept trying to start smoking and stuff, and the manager would come and take it off him, and then light up another.
And there's that I've got the feeling that he's like clean now.
Yeah, I think
like
so,
most of
yeah.
these, like you can't keep going forever.
No.
So they
Yeah.
I saw a video of him on TikTok the other day, like doing a song on a trike.
Yeah.
I was like, can someone get in some heroin?
Oh, no.
Do you know what I mean? Where, like,
Come
let's-
on, he's doing well.
Let's get him back to his old self.
No, this is the drug dealer and you still coming out. Fuck's sake.
I've got gear to sell.
Are you clean now?
Yeah.
It must have been a lot of fun touring as that in a
It's
band
amazing,
and stuff
yeah.
like that. Yeah.
Like-
Did you say? I mean, if you were playing in Radio 1 and stuff like that, you must have thought,
Yeah,
That was going to be it.
Yeah, there was a time, especially so in Stoke, we were doing well.
Aye.
You know, we would sell out a venue there called the Sugar Mill, which is like King Tut's.
Sure.
Like sort of, they call it like the toilet circuit. King Tut's, like Sugar Mill.
Why do they call it the toilet
I
circuit?
don't know really, because I guess they're not like nice venues compared to. I mean, I don't know compared to what the O2s, academies, like their shit as well. I don't know why they call it that, but
Smaller music venues on your way up.
but like, you know, for
But King Tut's is regarded as being all right.
Yeah.
isn't it?
yeah, and
But,
for us doing comedy, like you're like,
All the circuit is toilet.
yeah,
circuit.
exactly. You're at the top of your
I'm
game.
happy to be there.
Yeah. You're like, bloody hell, have you seen this toilet? It's incredible.
This is
You
one
do
of my
get nice
favourite
toilets.
toilets to play.
Kings of the Thrones.
Wow.
Yeah, but so I mean, even like 300 capacity room now to sell out in comedy, you're like, hey, that's fucking great.
100%.
But yeah, as a band, it's sort of, don't know, it's a little more doable.
And what happened?
Right.
Why did it not end up working
Well,
out?
we just didn't really get ahead with, like, I think we were too late.
Yeah.
We started after Arctic Monkeys, so it's like
You can't
it's
compete
done.
with that.
Yeah.
Like the best has been done, so it's
Yeah.
all kind of downhill from there.
Well, there's a big appetite for landfill indie, isn't there?
The ratings, etc.
The ratings, I love the ratings so much, man. I saw, I'm like, that's a spoof? That's got to be. Twist the lime with, like, what? Do you like them?
No.
We only know about it because CMB and Liam do a music podcast and they done an episode about them.
Yeah.
That's the only reason I've even heard of them.
I'm obsessed. I want to go see him in Sheffield.
Oh, aye.
That's where they're from. Like,
Yeah.
just
It feels like it's a tribute band, doesn't it?
I don't know,
But like a bad
Kinda like,
one.
yeah,
but it's also a tribute audience. Like, it's like the
Yeah.
whole thing is like, it's like
people that
People who
still-
don't like the car and
Yeah.
they're like they want the
Dirty
first album.
Monkeys.
it's all that.
and they don't
everything.
mind misogynist lyrics. and stuff
Exactly.
like that. Yeah.
It's like,
I've got a song about OnlyFans, is that right?
sounds about right. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think they're all like, there's one that's like,
She gets her tits out for £10 a month.
Yeah.
That's actually
Wow. Did you have any lyrics like that? Suspect lyrics?
no, we didn't have anything about getting tits out. I mean, we definitely, there's
Not
definitely,
during the show.
no, that's an after thing. We definitely would have had stuff that was like misogynistic of the time. I'm trying to think.
Because there's in your stand-up show I went to see last year, which was very good, and I would
Obviously
recommend.
very misogynist.
Because I bet you like women a lot.
No, it was great, and I would recommend that you're doing your. We'll talk about that at the end. You're doing your debut show, but there's a bit where you play a bit of a song.
Yeah.
and what is it about curry or something?
yeah.
Oh Christ, where's this going?
Yeah. So the thing about the people who make curry. My dad, who makes a lovely curry. No, it was about. So that is our first song we ever made. It's called Abdominal Crisis.
Yes,
And it's about having the shits.
it's very
I
good
was
stuff.
like, why didn't we make it? I can't figure it out. Yeah, so that was like, and I think so. We had songs quite about like, like growing up in a place that you don't want to be from and trying to leave it, and wanting someone else's life. That was one.
A certain romance, basically.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly. Everybody was writing the same sort of stuff.
Yeah.
yeah. But you're right about what you know.
Exactly.
Abdominal
Having a
crisis,
shit.
not having the shits.
Yeah.
We all know about that.
But
Was that like your big single, or was that a B side?
No, that was very much a B side. It was a D side.
What was your big?
Get Rowdy
Right.
was probably our most popular track.
And what's the etymology of get round?
That's not what that is. So what's your etymology?
It's hard to say, actually.
That was about.
What was that about?
That was about like wanting to leave the town that we're from. Like, I don't want to grow old. I want to get rowdy was the main refrain. Oh, but it was a good track. That
That was the chorus?
yeah.
That's cool.
Um,
Would you get people singing along? At
yeah. So like at the Sugar Mill, we would have like 300 people. By the end, people who were like singing.
That's
the
cool.
songs
That must be a cool feeling.
Fucking mad. And then like, I'd be going back the next day, working at the co-op.
Same.
I know you
Oh,
co-op
wow.
boys, couple of co-op lads.
Yes. There we go.
Be on the checkout. Well, I'd be either doing fruit and veg
Mm.
or the checkout. And it was a
I think you sold that in your co-op, did you?
Nah, what? No,
We're just fermenting it down into alcohol.
Selling moonshine at the back.
yeah.
Steve tried to trend earlier on, he didn't know the ingredients.
Yeah, I think it's rotten.
It's the stuff that usually is meant to get chucked in the waste in the co-op.
Do you ever think, I remember in my co-op with the waste stuff, we had this manager, right? And he was like, he'd always do this. The food we'd put out in the bin, you'd have homeless people come and take. And he would get so angry about it.
Yeah.
That's insane.
And he'd like make us go and like destroy it all.
We had a big thing. I
mental.
worked in Asda and we had a big thing called the compactor, and it was just like this big fucking machine. It would just crush it all up. And yeah, it was literally just so they don't give it. But I think now there are shops and stuff that do have programs where they would give out the waste.
Yeah,
to
now
homeless
surely they
folk.
wouldn't.
My boss done that as well, but the excuse that they gave us, I don't know if this was real, but the excuse was if that homeless person gets food poisoning, then they can sue us.
Oh, right.
It's like, I don't
Like
know.
that's ever happened.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I don't think that's happening.
Yeah, don't.
With what lawyer?
I passed it.
You're not
of
going to
your
get a
bin.
solicitor if you've not got a host.
Here's
do you?
my solicitor. Some guy is like, I remember in the co-op once, the guy who was doing that, he came and I was pulling the fruit and veg out and he was like, can I have one of these? And I was like, you can, mate, but it's an onion.
Aye.
And he's like, I know. And he ate the
Oh,
onion.
no.
So I'm imagining him as someone's solicitor in the dock fucking eating an onion. He's like, yeah, he's my guy.
Yeah.
Not guilty.
Representing himself as this oniony.
Half-bitten onion.
I put it to you, Your Honour. But aye, nah,
Let
it's
Yeah,
pretty
that's
shite, isn't it?
It is shite. They should, because and they stopped, like when we reduced stuff at the end of the night and chuck it away, they stopped giving it to us as well, because like, we used to get like certain stuff if we wanted it, and they were
People
like,
opening it.
people were like hiding it so they could get it for free at
Get
the
it
end of the
later.
shift.
Yeah.
And they're like, we can't
Full
have
rack
that.
of ribs, just like, oh, it's gone off.
Yeah,
How were you there for ages?
9 years.
There was a guy when I worked in Asda. There was a guy who was the manager of the home and leisure department with the TVs and all that. And he got somebody one day to reduce all the TVs, like one of his colleagues.
We're going out a day.
Yeah, and then he
This
just
TV
went,
smells weird.
he just went through the fucking checkouts of them all, and then they were obviously like, you can't even get sacked and all that. It's pretty bad, man.
But what was it like? The package was damaged or something?
No, I don't think there was any reason. I think he basically was like, he just told one of his colleagues, like, this is your job to reduce these items. And then he's bought them.
Fuck's sake. Fair play. Fair play.
I mean,
I mean,
he did get
is it fair
sacked.
play? Like,
No, he got sacked instantly. It was like a
Yeah,
stupid
yeah.
fucking thing to do.
It's fair play.
But it's
Come on.
weird, isn't it?
the play is fair.
It's literally the definition of unfair.
Yeah.
I think that's fair. Guy. So you would work in the co-op after doing a big gig.
Yeah. And especially if you're like, cause on the checkout,
Mhm.
that's a huge come down the checkout. Because you're like, it's like sensory deprivation.
Yeah.
You know, you're just like,
Yeah.
but it would feel, and then we'd be going back out. Because we'd have a van. So we would come back home and then go, especially if we were supporting someone on tour, we couldn't afford to stay in places.
Yeah.
So we'd just drive back and then I'd have work from like 7 until 12
Aye.
and go out.
That must set you up, because that's not a dissimilar.
Yeah,
thing
yeah,
to
it's very
stand
stand
up,
up.
eh?
Yeah.
You know?
Especially when you're like, so I do comedy full time now, but before that, you got your job.
Yeah.
If you like to keep you going, you're like, you just you're running from that to that to that. It was pretty
Yeah.
similar, to be honest.
Mm.
I know. that's
But
all
did you ever have to like make a decision? Because a few times my boss would be like, I can't give you that night off to do a gig. And did you ever have to make a decision like, I can't do this gig, or I need to quit? Or
Not with.
were they quite sound with
It was all mornings.
right.
I think I
okay.
started it when I was already in the band, so I was Saturday like 7 a.m. But like you just
And you
get
you
pissed.
probably had that. You
Yeah.
got, you were used to skiving off in school and getting punished for
Yeah.
it. So
I'll
like,
do
go
the
through
time.
that shit again.
I'll have 10 weeks. I'll do it. Put me in the shed with the onions. Yeah, I just think that when you're like a teen, it's like you just go.
Aye.
There's no,
You've got the energy.
yeah, you come back in at 6. I'm like, well, I'm in at 7 and
Yeah.
I'll be fine.
Yeah, I've done that before as well, going in completely still
Yeah.
drunk,
I
still
know, yeah.
fucked.
It's good.
Yes, and then like you get to a stage after a couple hours in the shift, and you're like, you start to sober up, and you're like, this is the longest fucking
Yeah. The
shift in my
thrill
life.
to begin with. You're
Yeah.
like, I've fucking done it.
I'm doing it. I'm
doing
I'm
this.
steaming.
You do some musical stuff on your show.
Yeah.
And do you feel like you've taken on the skills that you learned in the band into that, and like you show that?
Yeah,
off and
because
that?
at first I didn't, when I started doing stand-up, I didn't do any music because
Aye.
I was like, they're separate. And then I just started bringing it in because I'd made some sketches online with music, and I was like, well, I want to do them. What would be like if I do them live? So yeah, I guess in the end you start bringing together all you can do, really.
Yeah, skills.
Yeah, and like I just use it enough to like, hopefully just to, to add a little bit extra rather than it being music through and through.
Is that why you sell drugs at the end of your shows?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
The merch.
Merch. It's got my face on it, so it's got the dates on the back like a t-shirt. Yeah, well, I think because now I don't do all the music I make is like with a laptop, and it's like synthy stuff. So it's a bit different and like an arpeggiator because so easy.
Yeah, I've got one of the wee MIDI keyboards.
Yeah,
That's
you just like make a shape. Yeah,
What is an arpeggio? I don't know.
so it like does the rhythm for you. So it's like
Oh.
so it's like a chord. Like if you played a third chord, which is made of an octave, which is like do, and then the note in between that, it like ferries you along each of the. I don't know what I'm talking about.
Interesting.
Is it?
That's what you do.
It felt
That's
not.
what you do as well.
I do
Yeah.
little jingles for the other podcasts sometimes,
Yeah,
but I use like that sort of shit, and I like it. I think it's pretty cool.
It's getting like lost in. It's like that and editing. I think if you're editing a clip or a podcast, it's so easy to get stuck
Yeah.
in it.
Yeah.
Whereas like writing or something, it's so easy to be like run away from it.
Yeah, no. If only you could spend the time and have the focus on writing, it's easy to do with editing or something. I think because it's more of a mechanical skill in a way, isn't it? Like editing versus writing, you really need to have to fucking think.
Yeah.
and,
Creative.
Because music is like, it feels as well like you're playing a bit, but like writing is like solving a puzzle. It's like you roughly know the thing, but you're like, how do I make that funny?
Yeah.
And you're trying to solve that puzzle.
It's easier to do something you know you can do than something you're not sure you can. 'Cause
Exactly.
when you sit down to write, you're not sure if you're going to come up with anything. you
Yeah.
know? And it's
Yeah.
harder to go into it.
Yeah, exactly. At least
That's
if
why I
you've
like
got a wee keyboard, you're like, that's a chord. Let's go from there.
Yeah.
But
Which is, I think, sometimes where I like come up with an idea to do on stage, and you're like, right, well, I'll just try and that's the chord, and I'll go and do that on stage, and I'm sure it will all come out.
No,
yeah,
And you're like,
and it doesn't.
Nah, it's just the chord. It's not a song.
Yeah.
And it's your debut show this year.
It
Adam
is.
in Edinburgh.
Yeah, man.
You've obviously been up doing shorter spots and things like that before.
Yeah.
But how are you feeling about the fact that it's the debut? It's a big deal for a comic.
It is, yeah. I feel like it's more a thing from London comics that go, oh, this is the debut, I need to make it perfect. Has that been a...
Yeah, well, because I guess because you sort of like it's the Fringe is from the very early on. It's like the place you want to get to.
Yeah.
You know, I think when I first started, I was like, my dream would be to do an hour that I like.
Yeah.
So it's like you've been working towards that for 4 or 5 years. It's like, so that is very exciting that it's that now.
Yeah.
And yeah, like just been working on it for ages, and it's basically ready and it's good. And then I've just got to go and do it now. I mean, there's stuff that I still want to change,
Yeah.
but that's
That's
how it goes. But yeah, man, I'm doing it at the Monkey Barrel, which I'm so excited about.
great venue. And it was a full version of the show that I seen last year.
Exactly, yeah. So it's probably there's quite a lot that's different with it, and it's hopefully for the better. But yeah, it's a lot different. He's done it worse. He's one of these guys that works backwards, But yeah, I mean, it's just I'm hoping that it's going to be, the Fringe is really hard, and it's like each time has got more easy in its way. Like the first one is like I did a split bill in like the back of a pub, like the South Side.
Yeah.
Was that
dragging people in?
Was it before lockdown or was it?
2019.
Yeah.
And then I did a split in 21,
Yeah,
which
'cause
was
that's-
incredible.
I think that's when I first met you.
I
Yeah.
remember chatting to you then.
Yeah, that's we met at that after party thing somewhere.
yeah.
Gilded Balloon or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that was good because like I did a split with Paddy Young, you know him,
It's great. Yeah.
and it just like it was 120 people sold out every day because there was nothing here.
Yeah.
everyone doing a week. If everyone did a week, you know,
That'd be
especially the
great.
London lot, everyone coming up, you know, you guys are here. That's fair.
Yeah.
But
I would love to do a week as well. I think there's no need to do longer than that, is there?
Yeah,
You
when
know
you're in
what?
that fourth week, you're like,
Yeah, no one's choosing to do like 25 days in a row, like out, you know, it's because
Yeah, in the world.
that's how long it is. But
Yeah, it's crazy.
you'd never choose to do that otherwise, would you?
And like last year when Sam Campbell won the award and he'd done 2 weeks or whatever the run was, and people were like, "That's changed the game. Everyone's just going to be doing 2 weeks now." And then it's like,
Yeah, everyone's
it's-
back.
Well,
everyone's
a
doing the
lot of
full
people
run.
are.
I think a
coming
lot
up
of
and doing
people
that.
are, yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, it's partly because it's so expensive and stuff like that as well, I suppose. But
But I don't know anybody who's like debuting, for example, who's doing 2 weeks.
no.
Like, so I think that there's
Yeah.
people who are established who are.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Um,
that's true. But I feel like it's still not like, I think the venues want you to do a full run for whatever reason, even though I think it could benefit from getting double the amount of acts and just splitting the bills.
Yeah,
I think.
I reckon so. I mean, I don't know. I've not like, I don't know.
It's good fun to be able to, you know, get through the full month on.
Man, yeah, it's and like being with
Yeah.
all your mates in a place for that long is like, it's great.
yeah, it's a lot of fun.
I get to see a lot of stuff, and like the show just getting better and better as well. It's
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
an exciting thing because are you both doing?
Monkey
how long are you
Bar.
doing?
Monkey Barrel.
Doing the full run, yeah.
You're doing, yeah.
Yeah, but the thing is, like, I mean, I done Perth this year, and that's like fucking 5 weeks.
Is it?
You know?
Yeah.
it's like,
But that's in the sun and it's
Yeah.
like
yeah, it's
everyone's
worse
happy.
because no one wants to fucking go to comedy, and it's fucking 40 degrees.
Yeah, but surely in Australia,
they're
like
used
the
to
sun
it.
doesn't count because the sun is everything.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like here,
it's actually so hot that people want to go inside because
Right, it's the
you
opposite,
can't
yeah.
really
Bit of
stand in it.
aircon.
get out, get off the beach, come in this dark room.
Yeah,
So it's like, thank God for shivering inside.
It's a weird
perfect.
style, man.
Yeah.
But I saw, you know, in a way, the Fringe isn't that fucking long in comparison.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. Adelaide was I done a room in Adelaide and it had no aircon, the red room, and it was
Yeah,
The
that's
worst
because I
fucking-
went there the next year and they put aircon in. It was fucking great.
yeah, it would be a perfect room if it had
It was great.
aircon.
It
for
was
me.
fucking brilliant.
Hot, yeah, awful.
No, but no, it's exciting, man. Like, I know part of me wishes I was still able to do my debut and get that.
Yeah, it is an exciting thing.
You know?
Like, how you feeling for it? Is it?
Yeah, man, really good.
Because there's a lot of external pressure, I guess. That
Well,
you
it's the
get on
first
it.
year that I have external anything.
Aye.
You know, like up until last year, it was just, hello, can someone look at me, please?
Yeah.
And then I found an agent last year, and you know, she's been great, and it's all like, you know, all of that stuff now. So it's
You've got all the PRs and
all that, yeah.
all of that jazz.
PR, production, dry ice, limos, entourage. A lot
It's
of
like
people-
it sounds a lot like those fucking fire things we went to.
Yeah. That's how I end my show. The audience have to come out underneath.
Crawl out.
I mean, like
Stop
trying to
and
get the bucket and they're like rolling through. If you want to pass, you got to pay me a $5 again to get out.
But yeah, but I always feel though with that stuff, like your job is just to do the show.
Yeah.
That's all
Yeah,
you can control.
exactly.
All that other stuff, that's everybody else's job. That's that's working for you or
The
whatever.
admin.
Yeah, you just need to give the audience.
That's
a
the
good
first
show.
year that I've had this.
Yeah.
You know, because so like last year doing 40 minutes, you're up in the morning refreshing the tickets.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, I was chatting to my mate about this. and
Now
it's
with
like-
that, but with the reviews.
Yeah. Well, I'll try and not look at that.
Yeah.
That's like, I don't know. I mean, is that possible?
I think it's possible.
Yeah, you can.
But other people will maybe tell you at some point, but it's probably a good thing to at least
Yeah.
just try and not worry about it. Put it out of your mind as much as possible, you know.
Unless you're doing that thing where you staple them onto your flyer, like usually get like 5 stars.
Yeah,
stapled
no,
on.
no,
1 star.
Yeah, nobody's going to be doing that. Imagine finding out you got a 1-star review because someone had stapled it onto your post.
Learn from your mistake.
Yeah, I try not to look at reviews and stuff, like because you can get your agent to.
Oh yeah,
To
I'm
look
sure.
at that
No,
for
no.
you.
I mean that's sort of already been like agreed that like I won't, and I don't see them as. There's like a few reviewers who are like I would care what they. I'd be interested to know what they say.
Yeah.
because they've watched a lot of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But then there's some people. It's just a person.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like, and I don't want to hear what every audience member thinks.
That's
Like
it.
I can roughly tell
yeah.
when I do it.
And you also probably know the flaws or whatever. Like, I
Yeah.
always feel like I know there's nothing I could really hear that I've not already probably thought about myself at some point. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like you get to a point where, yeah, you just, it's that internal
Yeah, it's
know.
not for the reviewers; it's for you.
It's for you
Yeah,
and your audience.
Exactly. You want to use the stars or whatever to get people to come
Mhm.
rather than to inform
Yeah,
what you're doing.
100%.
Anyway, it's too late at that stage. What are you going to do?
Exactly. You can't change the whole show.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, I'm excited. Hive 2, at 3:20 every day. Monkey Barrel.
Get a little day off.
Yeah, the 15th.
Yeah.
Which I don't know what to do.
Just
To
don't
leave.
don't do anything. Yeah, just
What do you do on your days off?
So last year, no, I never actually came home last year, but I'm considering maybe just going to Glasgow for the day.
I'm
But
gonna do nothing.
I don't know. I like to stay around. I kind of like to be there when I'm there. So I don't know. Sometimes I'll just fucking plod about. Just maybe just have a couple of drinks. Enjoy not having the pressure of the show that day.
Yeah, maybe
Yeah.
see some stuff or whatever.
See some stuff. So usually I see some stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Aye,
I'm usually watching stuff throughout though, you know.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
same.
The first week's maybe a little bit like head down.
sometimes you go and see something that clashes with you.
Yeah.
That's the only day you can see it.
Yeah,
But yeah. So it's 3:20. You say on
3:20.
at Monkey Barrel 2. Did you say?
No, Monkey Barrel Hive 2.
Oh, Hive 2. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
that's great. Great. We were in Roscoe was in there last
Yeah,
time.
yeah,
Yeah.
he's in there this year as well. I was gigging
Aye.
with him last night.
Oh, brilliant.
That'll
Well,
be fun.
definitely check out Adam.
highly recommend it. Last year was great. Loved it a lot.
Thanks, man.
You do a lot of fun stuff. I'm not going to give too much away, but you do a lot. You've got your musical stuff in there, and you've just got good jokes, and it's great.
And he's got a lot of weed still left over as
Yeah,
well.
so
Punting
please,
that.
half price.
No, great. Adam, well, is there anything else you'd like to plug before we let you go?
Nah.
Follow you online? Where can,
Online, yeah, come look at me online.
where can people find
Flood
you?
Ha Ha, HAHA across all channels.
Nice.
You put up these sketches and
I
stuff.
put up some sketches, clips, just anything that
Good stuff.
I can find.
Nice.
I'm working on stuff that I'm working on won't be out for a long time, so I don't really know. There's no point plugging something that I don't even know will get made. So I've got an idea that you'll never hear about. So look out for that.
Very cool. Well, yeah, check out the Fringe show, and thanks for joining us, Adam.
Thanks very much.
As ever, before we go, please remember to like and subscribe and comment on YouTube. Give us a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts and Spotify, and you can follow us at SomeLaughPod on Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter. And you can send emails to our email address, which is somelaughpod@gmail.com. Thanks a lot for tuning in, guys, and I'll speak to you soon.
Cheers, guys. Thanks, Adam. That was
Cheers.
Nice one, boys.
Thanks, mate. Thanks a lot.